then I recollected it after you gave me these things. I would have maybe included it in my statement, so I don't recall it. I don't think it happened. I don't even have a recollection of that, Commissioners, that he told me that Mr. Nangi refuses to drop the charges. This thing, you see, this thing of dropping the charges, I didn't even hear it during the meeting on the 15th of April. I don't remember hearing this discussion. It might have happened, I don't deny it, and I don't want to say it happened or it didn't, but General Senona didn't hear it. And number two, this call, it never happened with this discussion.
Okay.
A call with these discussions, it didn't happen.
Okay, so you're saying Mr. Matlala is not being honest here when he says that he called you to discuss this Nangi issue?
I'm not saying he's not honest. I'm saying this call and a call in relation to this discussion never happened.
But General, I think what Ms. Hassim is trying to do in simple language is your answer is the call never happened. It never happened. So she says to you, so it means that Mr. Matlala is being untruthful if he says there was a call with you and you sit here before us, you say there was no such call. He's being untruthful. I think it's not controversial, really. You can consider that. You can agree that he's not being truthful.
It is not the truth.
Okay.
It is not true,
Thank you.
Commissioner.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So then we get back to the media articles and 5 March, and you say that you began to withdraw. But I put to you that's not correct because you had the 15 April meeting and we've had that whole exchange. But it goes further than that, General, because the day before Mr. Matlala was arrested, you were still engaging with him. And in fact, what you say to him on the 13th of May is take them on, brother, meaning to take on the SAPS. And I'll take you there because you should have a look at it. It's page 60 of the WhatsApp. It's file 1 of 3.
It's here. I'm there.
So do you see that 13 May 2025?
Correct, Commissioner.
8 minutes past 3 in the afternoon.
Correct, Commissioner.
Take them on, brother.
Correct.
Okay. And you recall what that was about?
Yes.
Sorry, Ms. Hassim, we're looking at the WhatsApp bundle.
Yes.
You say page?
Page 60.
60. Trying to find. Oh, yes. Let's see that.
Have you found it? So we're going to turn one page back now to page 59 because that's where it begins. General, on page 59, Mr. Matlala, on the 13th of May, sends you a document at 1 o'clock. Do you see that?
Correct, Commissioners.
And that document is Annexure SEN 6, which you will find at page 300 of the same file. If you found it, Commissioners. Page 300. This is a letter from the National Commissioner, General Matlala, correct?
Yes, Commissioners, I see that.
And it is a letter terminating the contract of Medicare 24, Mr. Matlala's company. Do you see that?
Correct, Commissioners.
You've seen this letter before. You've read it.
I believe I might have, because it's the one for the termination of his contract.
Right. And in that letter on page 300, in the last paragraph, it says, SAPS's judgment is that your company abused the supply chain management system and engaged...
Sorry, can I get that paragraph?
Oh, sorry, I thought we were on page 300. It's the last paragraph on that page.
Okay, yeah.
Do you see it?
I see it, Commissioners.
SAPS's judgment is that your company abused the supply chain management system and engaged in fraudulent and or corrupt practices in competing for this contract based on, inter alia, the following findings of material irregularities. And then each of those irregularities is detailed in the letter for the next couple of pages.
I see that.
Now, and then it ends, I'm not going to go through all of them. You've seen the letter before, and we can go through it if you wish to. They're very detailed, and it concludes, given the seriousness and cumulative nature of these breaches, SAPS considers the continuation of this contract to be untenable. Contract is hereby terminated with immediate effect. Now, Mr. Matlala sends this letter to you. What was your response?
My response, Commissioners, thank you, Advocate. I want to take the Commissioners at page 60 of bundle 1 of 3. A page after this, SEN 6.
Is that page?
60,
Oh.
Commissioner. May I proceed, Commissioners? My response is that this is so sad, and it leaves one with, maybe there's a missing link there, choice but to seek legal advice on this issue with a view to challenge this decision.
Yes. So, in fact, your response starts before that. You send him an image of President Zuma with his head in his hands.
Is an emoji.
And then you follow it by saying, so it's shaking his head in his hands and he's saying, this is so sad. And you advise him to get legal advice.
Yeah, correct. That is my response to him.
And he says he will.
He says, true. My advocate advised I should make interdict within 48 hours.
And then you say?
I say, take them on, brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, do you not think that it's inappropriate for you to be giving him advice after you see this letter from the SAPS raising these serious concerns?
It is not inappropriate. It is within his rights because he talks about his advocate here as well.
Sorry, what does he say?
It is not inappropriate.
It's not inappropriate?
Yes.
So you were already concerned. You said to us you started to withdraw from him. You started to cut off contact from him. And instead, your response here is to say, this is terrible news. This makes you sad. This is sad.
Not make me sad, Commissioner, that the news is that of a sad in nature. These are sad news, not me being sad. I need to clarify that.
Okay.
The news are of a sad nature. And then You see, I'm going to, I want to say something under this context, Commissioner. You know, it is clear, Mina, I've never protected this man. If he said, this is the challenge, I said, this is so sad, seek legal advice. And then he also informed me, my advocate said so, I must interdict them. I said, take them on. I read this thing, I saw that he will never win, but let him go and do whatever he wants to do. But when I read this letter, I realized he will never win to restore this contract based on what it is written in the letter. But that is what I've indicated to him. And that's it, commissioners.
I don't understand that response. You already are wary, as you say, of Mr. Matlala. Now you see the actual culmination of this in the letter. And in your response, instead of distancing yourself from him, you choose to respond. This is, you said that you began to cut ties. This is the day before Mr. Matlala was arrested, by the way. So in fact, the way you cut ties with him was forced upon you by his arrest, isn't that so?
Commissioners, you see when you look at this response, it is a straightforward thing that that closeness is no more there. You know, another person, commissioners, will do this if he wanted to assist this person and continue with the relationship. Will say, no, don't worry, I'll go meet so and do 1, 2, 3. Another person might do that if one can bring that type of context. But I only said these things, and then from there, I've never talked about this thing of the contract anymore with him.
From then, because he was arrested.
Correctly.
Because he was arrested a few hours later.
No, commissioners, the arrest of Mr. Matlala took place on the 15th of May.
On the 14th of May.
If you say 14, you're correcting me, but according to my recollection, it's the 15th of May, 2025. That is my recollection, but I stand to be corrected of the date of arrest.
What difference does a day make, General? Whether it's the 14th or the 15th, the point is it was soon thereafter.
I cut my ties, commissioners. The difference was the date of arrest, but the fact, yes, he is arrested, to show that I've cut ties. Number one, there was no evidence presented before this commission, and also myself, I'm saying so. After his arrest, I've never called him. Number two, I've never visited him in any prison where he was detained. Number three, I've never attended his court where he came with bail application. Number four, even if when his visits, the issue of his problems here, I didn't even offer to help any, like previously when I talk about, I said moral support. Ne? I said moral support. We're talking about moral support. Ne? It didn't happen here. Then I said, I'm done now.
So you only cut ties after he got arrested?
Finally.
Only?
Finally, when that happens, Commissioner. I said gradually I was moving away, but finally, I'm even prepared if my cell phone need to be checked to check that have I ever did any contact with him, either directly or indirectly. Have I ever visited him or go to the jail? Because if you want to continue your relationship, you'll visit him in jail. We can check even the registers there if I went there and visited, or have I ever called any person at the prison. Finally, my submission, commissioners, is that finally I cut till to date. I've never come into contact with him or his wife or whatever. Finally, that's my submission.
General, the issue was after the 5th of March article. you said in your statement after that day you became weary and you started cutting ties with him. So what is being explored with you is whether after that date you cut ties with him or not.
I said gradually I moved away, Commissioners. That is my response. I think I said it over 10 times today in this room, Commissioners.
Why did, sorry, Ms. Hassim, I hope I won't disrupt the flow of your questions. But yes, you've said it several times, General, but why did it have to be gradual? You have this article, it's making these serious allegations of tender fraud and other serious allegations. Why did it have to be gradual? Why did you not terminate communication there and there?
I don't ever respond to that because...
I'm sorry?
I do not ever respond to what the Commissioner is asking me, why did I not cut it there and there? But
you don't, may I come in please? You don't have a response, General, because this is untrue. At that stage, you did not intend terminating communication. That's why you have no response to my question. It's simply not true.
I don't agree with the statement, but for me, that is what I was doing, Commissioners.
So from 5 March all the way up to the 13th of May, you are still gradual. So it seems to me that had Mr. Matlala not been arrested, you would still be continuing with your communication with him,
No.
which buttresses or which supports my point that it's untrue that you ever intended to cut ties with him or to stop communication with him.
Commissioner, there was an intention.
But when and how does that manifest? When and how does that intended termination manifest?
Commissioner, when we deal with issues of terminating relationship, we take them differently. I hear what the Commissioner is saying, but there was an intention.
You are a police official. You are a member of the Hawks. You find out that your friend, your younger brother, in quotation marks, is allegedly involved in criminality. This is something that concerns you and concerns you to the extent that you decide to cut off ties. You are a police officer. This is not just a relationship between ordinary individuals. Why did you not terminate communication or ties there and then?
I've already responded to that, Commissioners.
Which is that you cannot respond to my question.
I've already responded in that I decided to terminate, to gradually move away from him.
No. That's not answering the question, because my question exactly goes to that gradual termination. So I'm saying you're a police officer, because you say people respond differently, and you may terminate communication differently depending on who you are. But my point is, you are a police officer. You head Hawks, which is a specialized unit within the police, and which deals with serious crimes. You become aware that a person that you consider to be your brother, your younger brother, you are Uputi, the bigger brother. So now you become aware that he is involved in criminality. And on the 5th of March, you decide that you want to cut communication with him, but you do this gradually. You are not an ordinary person. You actually had Hawks in KZN. Why did you not terminate communication immediately?
That idea never crossed my mind, Commissioner.
Now, let's just look at the content of these communications, which are, 3 months later? You seem to be communicating with a friend in a very amicable manner. No indication at all that you are irritated with him. No indication at all that this is somebody that you want to terminate communication with. You say, this is so sad, and it leaves one with, I think you wanted to say, no choice, the no is missing, but to seek legal advice on this issue with a view to challenge this decision. No sign of you ever having intended to terminate communication at all. It's actually friendly. It's actually empathetic. How can that be if way back in March, 5 March, you already wanted to terminate communication? That just does not make sense altogether, General.
I've taken note of that, Commissioner.
I'm sorry?
I've taken note of the Commissioner's comments.
What's your report? What's your response? What's your comment?
I believe I have already responded, Commissioner.
You have not. I'm raising a different question now. I'm raising a question about you being empathetic, where you are suggesting that way back in March you wanted to terminate communication. This is a different point altogether. You have not responded to it. Can you please respond?
The empathetic part of it.
The entire context. You are talking as if you continue to relate with him in the same manner you have told us you related with him. Since the marriage, your marriage, in 2018-2019, having taken a liking to him, your words, you then communicated regularly as friends, and going to the extent of saying you basically considered each other to be brothers. Now you decide to terminate communication in March. What I'm saying is, but look, in May, you are communicating with him in a manner that shows that you are quite empathetic to the difficulties he finds himself in. And I say, to say that way back in March you had intended to terminate communication simply does not make sense. That's a different question to the earlier one, which was, why did you not terminate communication immediately? That's a different question, General. Please respond.
Maybe before you respond, General, let me just add something else to the chairperson's question that you should take into account. Is in that page 60 WhatsApp where you say, take them on, brother, in fact, you are encouraging him. Contrary to what you're saying to us. In fact, a day or two before he's arrested, you say you encourage him to take your employer on regarding the termination of the contract, which, as the chair says, doesn't seem to suggest to present someone who has no interest anymore in Mr. Matlala's affairs and business.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Do you see that these are different questions? It's no longer my question about terminating immediately. Do you get that?
So I get it.
I just want to disabuse your mind of this idea that I'm asking you the same question. So can you now respond to my question, taking into account the additional point that my colleague has?
I have taken note of the analysis of the Commissioner, and I see that, yes, there is an error on my side that I've done in order to encourage him.
I just repeat that. I'm not sure I understand it.
I've taken note about the analysis of these messages by the Commissioner, and then I consider that it is an error on my side continuing to do this.
I want to suggest to you, General, that you are not able to respond to both these questions because what you are telling us is untrue. That is the real reason.
Commissioners, I believe I said I want to come and tell the truth, nothing else the truth. But that is the response I'm giving, Commissioners, in terms of the truth of my recollection. I've already said it might be an error of my side continuing to send him this type of messages. I think that is where I will stand with This is my response to the questions, Commissioners.
Now, General, from the 6th of March, that is the very day after you tell us, that is the day from which you intended to cut off communication. I'm looking at file 1 of 3, the exhibits file.
File?
The one that says 1 of 3, the exhibits file.
Okay, I got it, Commissioner.
It should be the same. It's the same one, actually.
Yes,
it's the same one we're on, yes. If you look at page 28, all the way, and that's March, that's the 6th of March, and you have told us that from the 5th you are now wary of him or his communications, and you have decided to terminate communication on the 5th of March. So the page I'm referring you to, on page 28, there's communication there, still between you and Mr. Matlala, and that's the 6th of March. I will not go through the texts that are there one by one, but from that page, from page 28 all the way to page 60, communication between the two of you continues unabated. And at times, you are the one that initiates the communication. And this, in circumstances where you say that on the 5th of March, you had decided to terminate communication. So all the way up to page 60, and page 60 being in May, from 5 March, in May, over many pages, 28 to 60, at times you being the initiator of the communications. Do you seriously want us to believe you that you ever wanted to terminate communication with Mr. Matlala?
The relationship, Commissioners, and what is happening, the way I took it, I understood what the Commissioners said about my position and where am I working, but it is the relationship, not necessarily the communication per se. Hence, I'm saying I was trying to move away from him in order to terminate the relationship. But I see that it took me...
So let me understand this. I'm sorry, I know you asked for protection earlier, but I just want to understand this. So you want to terminate their relationship, but having terminated the relationship, you want to continue communicating with him. So communication without a relationship. In the context of people who have otherwise been having a relationship of brother and brother. Does that make sense?
Not really that, Commissioners. Maybe it took me too long to cut it off, but gradually, in my mind, in my soul, I wanted to, but I took it gradually. So I see that the period, it is indeed a point of concern. And then I do understand what the Commissioner is saying. And I see, hence I'm saying it took me too long.
So had he not been arrested, it could well have continued to the present day.
No, I don't think so, Commissioner.
Where would it have ended? Where would it have ended? The page 28 to 60 that I'm referring you to is continuing unabated, and yet in March already you say you are wary of him and you want to terminate whatever it is you wanted to terminate. When would it have ended had he not been arrested at the point at which he was?
It was going to be ended, Commissioner.
When?
It's a pity.
The question is when, General, when? Ms. Hassim, you may continue.
Thank you, Chair. I have, on the same exchange regarding this termination of the contract, a further question, and this is a serious question about about your duties.
Can I ask, maybe before you ask that question, you are going to be dealing with these WhatsApp messages from page 28 to 60 at some point?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Page 60, 59 and 60, you sent this terminated. This is about your obligations in the position you occupy. A public position which you should be occupying and acting and conducting yourself in the interests of all South Africans. When you received this letter of termination that's sent by the National Commissioner of Police, and you urge Mr. Matlala to sue, as a senior law enforcement official, you urge him to sue another law enforcement arm. Do you not think that that is improper conduct for someone in your position?
Commissioners, I never urged him to sue. My message here talks about challenging the decision to cancel the contract, not sue.
Through legal means?
Through a lawyer. Because
Yes.
I won't do it. I can't do it, and I won't do it.
You agree that you urged him to seek legal advice?
Come again?
Do you agree that you urged him to seek legal advice?
I agree.
Yes.
I told him to do that.
And then you agree that you went further and you used much stronger language and said, take them on, brother. You agree with that?
It's not a stronger language, but I said, take them on, brother. For me, it's not a strong language.
And then he says, I'm on it. And you respond, thank you.
Yes.
Yes. And then he shares with you his lawyer's letter that either he intends sending it or it has been sent to the SAPS. Is that conduct becoming of a senior law enforcement official?
I don't think I did anything wrong.
But you accept that you urged him to seek legal advice and take
I
action
advised-
against another law enforcement arm.
I advised him to seek legal advice on the termination of the contract. And he also told me his advocate is on it. Already he was having that, but my words already, when you look at the response here, he says, true, my advocate advised I should. So already he got that. And also for me, I said, you must seek legal advice. Already he had that, he did that on himself. Yeah.
But you were not aware of that. You were not aware of that when you said take them on.
No, Commissioners, page 60, where he said, true, my advocate advised I should make interdict within 48 hours.